Here you have a full interactive dashboard where you can look at your income versus your expenses for the month. You can add your total income, your total expenses, you can add quick transactions, manage categories, generate reports. Another app that was built is CFO Agent. Everything works in a similar fashion. The difference here is the CFO Agent provides you with insights. So when you plug everything inside here, your transactions, you'll get financial insights through a report. You can look at all the different accounts you have. In those accounts, you can set up budgets, you can create AI reports, and then you have your AI CFO, which then provides you with real-time feedback based on your monthly income, your total assets, your monthly expenses, your top spending, your net monthly, and your budget. Then there's insights that you will get on a daily basis where you can run different analysis based on recommendations, as well as tracking your generosity status. Then we have Prompt Hub. You can add different teams or workspaces or different offers or businesses. Then you can choose between those workspaces and have a look at what prompts you have stored there. You can add AI platforms, and within the category, you can add prompts. So prompt title, the description of the prompt, and the format of the prompt, whether it is regular text, whether it's JSON, and then you can add all your prompt characters in here. I paid our AI agent $32 to build us 3 different apps, none of them requiring a single line of code from us. It sounded pretty good to me, especially since I've had app ideas but no coding background and always needed to hire a developer to assist. You see the potential with software, maybe for your coaching business, a new SaaS idea, or just automating workflows. But the path to actually building it feels complex, expensive, and slow. That's where this new vibe coding AI tool is changing the game. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use a new type of agentic AI software to test out 3 app ideas to see if we could get working prototypes from concept to reality with this tool. We're not just scratching the surface here. I'll walk you through the crucial stages of how to effectively plan your app for the agent. Secondly, how the agent actually builds it based on your instructions, and importantly, how you can deploy it. Quick disclaimer, it costed us $131.25 with a failed prototype before we found a way that's working for us. This video shares my personal experience experimenting with this AI tool to build software. There's no guarantee or promise or implication that you will achieve any specific result by watching this walkthrough or using the same methods we did. Individual outcomes will vary based on a range of factors, including your experience, your goals, and how these tools are used on your side. The content is provided for educational and informational purpose only and does not constitute professional, business, or technical advice. This video is specifically for founders, people like you and me who might never build an app, but see the need for one. Whether you're trying to validate a business idea quickly or create your own internal tool, SaaS product without hiring a team, or just want to see how powerful these AI agentic solutions truly are in 2025, this walkthrough will give you a clear, structured look. Forget the hype, let's see how it actually works. So let's dive into how we plan, build, and deploy apps using Replit. I'll use our 3 projects as real-world examples. Let's jump straight in. So let's start off with the planning. This is crucial. Like I said, we had an experience where we paid the agent $131.25 to build the app. And the problem we had was we didn't plan it well. We had all of these ideas, different features at different stages, but not truly knowing where to put it in and how that could potentially hinder the building process. Let's jump straight in. By the way, guys, if you are looking for this template, we've got an updated version as well down in the description below. You're more than welcome to just grab it there. For the sake of this video, let's quickly just scan through it. So first of all, you've got the application design and specification template. There's instructions to give to the agent. And then we want to ensure that the agent understands the app from the concept to the core value proposition. This is extremely important. Remember, this is a agentic agent that can reason with itself, that can think, and that can incorporate all the feedback and the specifics that you provided. So the more the detail, the better the output in our experience. Then we move into the core architecture. So you want to look at your hosting platform, the front end, the back end, the database, the stage management, the authentication, real-time features, and library and services. Extremely important. Then we have key user functionalities, and that goes from user management to project management to collaboration features. And then if you need to add more areas, this form of structure works well. Then for us, this was a big thing, memory and performance optimizations. Now again, depending on the type of app you build, this is important. So I'm going to show you the one that we did build eventually, where we essentially rebuild it after going through that entire experience of running around in circles, not getting the output and spending unnecessary money. However, that was a great learning experience, because from that we could take it, we can build this out, and we could build that exact replica of the app for under $16 specifically. Crazy. So taking that into consideration, we've got the anticipated bottlenecks that we could come across, optimization strategies, meaning what different techniques will the optimization strategies, and resource management. Now again, guys, you can add everything on the side, do it as you wish. Then we move into API infrastructure. This is going to be crucial depending on the app, but it is important that you understand, are you going to take payments from the app? Does it need to plug in SMS? Do you need to bring in AI features, etc.? And then we look at the key user flows, where you can break that down further. The scalability considerations, extremely important, especially if you're looking to sell it. The agent will need to know that. And then recommended build approach. The recommended build approach is crucial. As you will see, we've broken them down into different phases, and this is important. The idea usually just comes in like, okay, I want to build this app. Let me just drop the entire idea into the vibe coding software they're using, Bolt, Lovable, Replit, etc. And I'm not saying that they won't be able to build great apps. I'm sure it can if you can describe the detail, but there's a lot of different layers to building the app. So taking that into consideration, it's extremely important that you make sure that there's phases and you work through each phase. So based on this template, everything up until point number 7 is the intricacies within the app, the functionality and how it should function. But you can also guide the agent to make 100% sure that it's broken down into different phases. So when you're testing and troubleshooting, that you can first do each phase. The last thing you want to do is drop all the functionality and the look and feel on the front end, and then trying to get the agent to go troubleshoot what's not working, why is that not pulling over to there. Guys, it's a nightmare. It's truly a nightmare. So this will really help to skip that process. Now let's go into the back end of the apps. I want to show you here, for example, we've got the AI collaboration. This app came from the idea that we have so many prompts with so many different AI platforms. We get so many different responses, but we just can't seem to find a centralized hub where we can keep all the prompts. Now, taking that into consideration, you could think, oh, well, I can use Excel sheets, and it's still a nightmare. So we want something that's a bit easier, that we can comment on, that we can share within the team and move forward. So just to give you the price on this build, this entire build up until where we are at right now was $15.75. Guys, this is ridiculous that you can build an entire app with $15. Now again, credit to the failed attempt, because if that failed attempt, we could get the template, and from the template we could plug it in here successfully. That's what I believe really helped. Guys, if you are from the Replit and you're watching this video, please do comment on that and let us know what you believe would be the best approach to do this. But without further ado, this is what it looks like. I'm not going to go through an entire walkthrough of what Replit is and how Replit works. What I will do is I can do a complete from idea to concept, step-by-step walkthrough. That might be a good idea, and then I can go through every single specific area of Replit and then take that into the build and then deploy that. You can just let me know what you think. Is that something that would be beneficial for you? Not really. Taking that into consideration, the main features here in Replit is the agent feature, which is extremely beneficial. So the agent charges 25 cents per action, but I want to show you the way that it thinks and the way that it reasons at first, right? So if you have the prompt, let's see if I can go and get us to the top where we started this app. Right. Yeah, it doesn't say there's a lot of code. But essentially, what it does, it gives you the opportunity to have the development environment before having the deployment environment, which is fantastic. So you can test a lot of it, and you can always do that in preview and see what that will look like. Play around with it here, add everything in here that you feel would be needed. And then if you experience specific bugs, something small, I would suggest going to the assistant. The assistant has all the infrastructure. It's got the entire app in its own AI knowledge base, its own AI brain. And from the assistant can help with making a few edits or adding a few features, but not major. It's minor tweaks here and there. And then you have the agent, which is fantastic, as I just mentioned, but we use the agent for everything. If it's troubleshooting something small, we could have saved even more, I believe. But the idea is to not really do the work, right? If you're a founder, you've got other stuff to focus on, right? You don't necessarily want to spend your time in the trenches here trying to figure things out and troubleshoot. That's why we would want to have the agent, obviously. Looking at everything here, this is the way it reasons, right? So as you can see here, getting an error, what will then happen is you can see it basically restarts the app. You can view the output, literally all the code. You can look at the authentication, every single thing, all of this code it writes, and it does it extremely fast. And then it goes through every single thing, and you can see how it thinks. Then when it's done, it tells you what it's completed, and then still reasons with itself, then gives you the output, and then tells you at the end what it resolved. That's just an overview of Replit. Guys, let's jump into what the app actually looks like. Now let's look at Prompt Hub. Prompt Hub is our main hub where we store all of our prompts. So what we thought, let's create something internally that we can list the AI platforms like you could see here, but let's create one and say Claude. So once Claude is created, we can go in and we can create a category. Let's say this is marketing. Leave it that color. And then within marketing, we can now go and we can create the prompt. Now let's say this prompt is for research ICP. We use this prompt initially when ICP. I will leave this as regular, not JSON. And then the prompt, we can say test, etc. Now, this is great, but let's use this example of researching an ICP. There's so many different stages of the research process that you want to go through. One prompt and one output is not going to really dive into the nuances that you really want when you're doing research. So we created multi-stage. So this would be, let's say step 2. After receiving the first output from prompt 1, well, let's say copy and paste this prompt. Say test, and then we create the prompt. Now the nice thing here is within your dashboard here, you can see it already says here multi-stage. So when you go back to marketing under Claude, you can see, right, we've got the research ICP prompt. This is what the prompt looks like. There's different versions we can look at. We can add some comments on this if we want, or we can just choose to edit the prompt if we need to. Now you can also add different teams. You can see teams as either teams, offers, businesses, workspaces, etc. It's truly up for interpretation, and manage these prompts together. Now let's look at the next app that we created. This is the financial advisor. This is a CFO agent that we built to help manage finances and give good advice based on the current standing of the finances. And again, guys, the usage here is $8 on this entire app that was built. Unreal. Now let's jump into the functionality here. So this is what the app looks like. Once you've signed in, you've got your financial dashboard. We have your total balance, monthly income, monthly expenses, expense breakdown, budget progress. You can create budgets, obviously, and then your transactions, add transactions or upload a CSV. Then you have your bank accounts added, and then some financial insights that you can create. And then at the top here in the navigation menu, you can see here that you have the accounts that you can add, the transactions that will be listed here with a filtering system, which is fantastic. But again, you can upload the CSV or add the transactions in yourself. However, if you connect it to your API, that will all be stored inside there. Then you have budgets. This is where you can create your budgets, and then you can create reports based on your current standing. And then you have your AI assistant. Assistant will be able to help you with your finances, budgeting tips, saving strategies, and investment advice. Essentially just helps you to make smarter financial decisions, right? So based on your financial summary, there's the financial income, the expenses, your net monthly, the total assets, and then your budget status. So you can drop in the questions and move along. Then there's also an insights section where you can run an analysis and get some insights back as well. And we also built in a generosity section, whether it's for tithing, whether it's for charity work, whichever generosity area you believe you want to invest in that's true to you. Again, this is something we just added in, and then some wisdom mindset around the finances. Now let's move over to the third and final platform we built. A lot of times you have different offers that generate different revenue, and you want to work out exactly what is this offer costing you to have in the marketplace, what is the return on that offer, and what is the expenses that specifically goes to that offer, just to micro segment the expenditure. So taking that into consideration, this one costed us $8.25 to build. And the way that this looks like is you've got your dashboard. All of these are interactive, and it gives you real-time feedback on it. So you can see your total income, total expenses, and your saving rate. Now, again, this is dependent on the budget that you set. So you would be able to go and set your own budget, and then you can add quick actions. For an example, add transactions, manage categories, and also generate reports. Then we have the financial breakdown. This is dummy metrics that we added here. However, this will give you a good understanding of how this app works. So taking that into consideration, we've got the income with its investment, sales, however you want to see it. You've got the budget for it, got the actual and the difference. Actual meaning what actually came in, and if they're according to the budget, whether you're over the budget or not. And then there's some software ideas and some team ideas, and then it works out based on income versus expenses, what you have left, which is great for P&L if you quickly want to get visibility on what your profit and loss looks like. So when you sign in, it will look clean like this, and you can either decide to add the transactions here on your right, or you can just go to settings itself, and inside you've got your main categories, you've got your subcategories. You can import and export, you can set your preferences, and of course you can invite your team. So there you have it, a look under the hood at building apps with Replit, walking through planning, building, and deploying using those three examples. As you can see from my experience, the potential to speed up prototyping and exploring ideas without traditional dev cycles felt game changing. It really shifts what's possible for us as founders and creators. Now, to help you get started effectively, if you decide to try this yourself, I've put together the exact planning prompt template I used, as mentioned inside of the description. This is the exact same planning prompt we used for all these three apps, and it helped structure things better upfront and may help you to do the same. You can grab the template completely free using the link below. Also, I'm curious, out of these three apps we built today, Finance Suite, CFO Agent, and Prompt Hub, are any of these something you'd actually find useful in your current life and business? Would any of these potentially solve a problem for you right now? If so, jump in the comments below and let me know which one, if any, sparks your interest. Seriously guys, depending on the feedback we get in the comments, we might look into making one or all of them publicly available. And of course, if you're looking to build out more complex AI custom apps, AI automations, or structured AI systems for your business and need dedicated help, feel free to check out what we do over at Scale.io. We partner with founders to build these kinds of efficient systems. If we haven't met yet, I'm Johnny and I'll spend years building businesses across multiple countries and industries, partnering with founders and CEOs to help you address the challenges of starting, building, and growing businesses online. Right now, growth might feel like more stress, more complexity, and the fear of being too late and playing catch up in this AI era. On this channel, I share a different way, a different path to sustainable AI development, modern leadership, and creating AI teams and systems that work effectively and efficiently. In my experience, the future isn't about having the biggest teams, it's about staying agile, lean, and adaptable. If you found this walkthrough valuable, give a thumbs up and subscribe if you want more practical, structured insights on using AI in your business without the usual hype. Until next time, see you then.